Hey kids, welcome back to a brand new season of Oldman Plays CFL Fantasy. Did fairly well last year, don't remember exactly what, but ended up probably in, I think, of the top 1 or 2 percentile. That's still, I think, in the top 2 or 300, but there's a lot of people that play this, so hopefully I know a bit about what I'm talking about. This week I'm going to be a little longer than I usually would because the first game of the season is just so hard to predict. There's so many unknowns. So I'm going to kind of give my thoughts around why I'm not picking players from certain teams and whatnot, rather than normally where I would just talk about who I think are the best bets that week. So let's get started. My thoughts at the quarterback position. Well, first of all, I'd look at Davis Alexander in Montreal. He looks like he could be a fantasy darling this year. It could be great, but the preseason wasn't solid for him, the little bit he was in, and until I see it, it's too big of a risk. They're playing Toronto, and Toronto's starting Arbuckle. I don't think I'm going there because if Toronto wins, I think it will be because their running game is going. And he may get a touchdown pass or two, but maybe one, and not a lot of yardage. And if the run doesn't work and they force him into the air against that Montreal defense, I'm seeing turnovers. I'm seeing picks, so I'm staying away there. Harris, he's got a good receiving core, so he might be a good start, but it's kind of hard to figure out who to team him up with at this point right now because anybody in Saskatchewan could step up. Plus, Ottawa's back end looked better in the preseason, so we'll have to see. I'm leery there. Brown, he's a possibility. They're playing Saskatchewan, and Sask plays that soft zone defense, so there could be a lot of yards, but I don't think there's going to be as much scoring as you might think. And the two scary parts is that's a ball hawking defense in Sask, so you could lose points on interceptions, and their O-line isn't good. They're starting a brand new tackle, and they've got Ruby at center, who I know he hasn't played there a lot. I don't know if he's played there before. So Brown could be on the run quite a bit. Going out to the West Coast, Rourke, will he bounce back? He may have a fantastic game, but it's a risk right now because, again, who's he throwing to? That line is suspect. I understand they may be starting 4 Americans, which might be good, but might not. They haven't played together a whole bunch. So I'm staying away there. And the same thing with Ford. He looks like he could be great, but it's a new offense, new offensive coordinator. I need to see it first. And that brings us to the last game of the weekend where I'm probably choosing from because I think Adams is a good choice. That Hamilton D, I have not a lot of faith in any pass rush. Their back end might be improved, but I'm not sure. And he's got a few people to throw to. But the other side, Mitchell, I have no faith in that Calgary defense until I see something out of them. And I think Mitchell's got a more experienced receiver group than Adams does. So I'm probably going Mitchell. We get to the running backs. Again, starting out east, Erlington will be starting for Montreal, and then Thies, I think it's pronounced, is backing him up. Erlington, it's been a long time since he's had a start. He was good. Will he still do it? It's tempting because that Toronto defense is unknown. But again, it feels risky to me. And on the other side of the ball, McMahon, I think he'll probably do okay. The Montreal defense is better against the pass than the run, but I don't have the faith that they're going to be able to pull up a big game until I see it. So I'm probably avoiding there. Moving to Ouellette in Saskatchewan. Again, O-line patched together. They've had a lot of injuries already. They've moved an American tackle inside to play guard, and they're starting a new tackle. I don't know. The Saskatchewan running game has been not solid last year, even with Ouellette there, so I think I'll pass until I see more. And then the other side of that game, stand back. Sorry, not against that Sask run defense. I don't think I pick anybody against them all. We get to Rankin from Edmonton. He's playing against BC. It's a possibility. I don't have a lot of faith in their D-line. Linebackers are not bad, but we'll have to see. So he might consider him depending on the prices and what I have to do. But Butler on the other side, he may be great in BC, but there's a lot of questions again about that O-line with maybe 4 American starters and whatnot. And until I see that Edmonton defense isn't as scary as it could be with the new D-line and the linebackers they already had, I'm not going against them either. So then that again gets us to the other game, the one that'll be interesting, Calgary and Hamilton. And I think both running backs on either side are good picks there, Bell or Mills. That Hamilton front seven does not scare me at all, and Calgary's not a lot better. So I think there's where I'm going. When I get down into the receivers, well, BC, I'm not going with anybody because, again, I just don't know who would be good out there. There's Hatcher, and he might step up and whatnot, but I don't know what Nathan's going to do. Too much uncertainty for me there again. I may be playing it a little safe going into this first game, but I want to go with what gives me the best logic. Edmonton, on the other hand, probably not their top guys, but maybe one or two of the lower price options if I need to go that way. Ottawa, Pimpleton, I think could have a good game. He's fast, and that may hurt the Sask defense. And Hardy's been good all along. Lewis, I'm going to stay away from until I see what kind of chemistry he's got with Brown. Sask, well, I don't think there's any bad choices, but I don't know if there's any good choices because the ball may be spread around a whole lot, and if it's not, we don't know who's going to come up big with it. It could be Emilus, it could be Keyshawn Johnson, it could be KSB. And then they're also running Dell Bunkin Busby out there and Dante Myers. And I don't think there's a weak side to that. Probably I'd avoid Dell Duncan Busby unless I really need something at a lower price. I'm guessing he will be. We haven't even looked at the prices yet. Going to Toronto, I'm not going to go with anyone because, again, they're going to be running, I think, mostly, and that Montreal D is so good against the pass. On the other side, with Montreal, it's kind of like Sask. No bad choices, but who's going to get the ball? Philpott's always a good option, and if you're taking Alexander as your starting QB, then you'd probably want to pair him with Philpott. But I don't know. And then in Calgary, well, Bagleton's always been good. Rhymes seems to have chemistry with BA. If you're going with BA as your QB, I would definitely go with Rhymes. Other than that, you may have to wait and see how it all goes. Hamilton, Lawler is a bit of an unknown, but him and Bo look like they had some chemistry in the preseason. I think I'd take a chance there, and I probably will if I go with Bo as my quarterback. But Bridges is also a solid choice. He's performed well last year. Hopefully he hasn't lost anything due to injury. And Keandre Smith, if you want to fit something in somewhere depending on price, he could be a good choice. And then defense. Well, I'd like to go with either Saskatchewan or Montreal just because of how they were turnover machines last year, especially Sask, but Montreal was good too. But likely it's going to come down to just what can I afford. So that's the mindset that I'm going into this week with. So let's fire up Game Zone Fantasy on the computer here and see what we come up with. So let's get started here. I said that I'd want to go probably with Bo this week. So let's first of all, he's right there at the top, and he's expensive. Oh, I have no idea what the prices are going to be, but let's pick him at quarterback and then go down to our first receiver and put Mr. Lawler in. See where that leaves me now. $44K left. That's a bit up there. Okay, so running backs. Oh, we were talked about going with Bell here. Where did you go, Mr. Bell? I'm headed on receivers. That won't work. Running backs. Bell is 7-7. Okay. And let's try the other side. Like I said, I think I'll go both sides of this game for running backs. Mills is, he's 10K, so we're getting down there. We're going to not be able to average more than, where are we at here? 27.3, so 9,000 per player. So let's see then, where do we go? We said might not mind picking up a wide receiver out of, Saskatchewan. Let's see if they've got anybody there that's not going to be too ridiculously priced. Okay. KSB looks possible. I don't think I'm going to go with Emilus at his price. Myers is a good option at 2.5. I may have to consider that. And Johnson at 3.3. Oh, those are steals. I'm going to take a chance on Johnson. There we go. That means that now we've got a little bit more we can play with the other side of things. So let's go to the flex. And you know what? Let's just open this all up by position and teams. And let's see what we get here for, all the quarterbacks are the high-priced ones. Lewis definitely don't want. Pimpleton is coming in at 10.5, and I've got lots of money left over here. This seems a little silly. Oh, and Philpott though at 10.5. I'm going to take Philpott. He did well for us last year. So that leaves us now 13.5 for the defense. Whew. And they're all well within that price range. I'm thinking I'm going to go with Sasky just because they had so many turnovers last year. Some changes on that defense, but nothing big. So that, I think I'm happy with that. I don't know that I would pick up any better team than that at the prices that I'm getting those at. So it's a gamble. They may crash and burn, but that's the first game of the season. So let's lock those in. Oh, whoops, I have to make someone a captain. Well, let's see here now. I guess it makes sense in this case to go with Bo. He's probably our best chance at high points. So there it is, locked and loaded. We've got our team. So that's it. That's my picks. If you care to use them, do so at your peril. We've also decided here at the CFL Outsiders to create our own league this year. The CFL Outsiders stumbling and bumbling. So check it out on the CFL Game Zone Fantasy. Join us. See who comes out the best of all our listeners. Let's have a fun season. The CFL is back, baby. Good luck with your fantasy this week. Remember to subscribe. Leave some comments. We'd love that. And please share this out on any social medias you've got and to your real life friends. We're really trying to grow the channel this year. Got a great team over with the flagship show, the CFL Outsiders. If you haven't tuned into that yet this year, you definitely want to. Got a couple of rogues, cohorts, partners in crime, GT and MJ. We're having great fun talking about the CFL. And that usually drops Wednesdays around 4-ish. So look for that. Look for me here every Thursday once the depth charts come out. And we'll try and help you enjoy your CFL season. That's about all, I guess. So until next week, get the hell off my lawn.